Everyone talks about the main JRPGs, but what about those spin-offs? Today, we're discussing 10 of the best JRPG spin-offs that you need to play. We all know the iconic JRPGs like Final Fantasy and Persona, but today we're diving into something even more exciting: JRPG spin-offs. These are the hidden gems, the underappreciated titles that people overlook, that just might be better than their main series. Not all of these games are still JRPGs. Some might be action games, others might be fighting games. There might even be a racing or puzzle game thrown in there. Today, we're talking about 10 of the best JRPG spin-offs that you shouldn't miss out on. Some will blow your mind, and others will leave you wondering how you missed them. So get ready to discover your new favorite game. Time to strap yourself in, grab a drink, and let's jump right into it. Alright, let's start this off with Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. If you're a fan of Persona 4 and love fighting games, this is where those worlds collide. That's me to a T. Fighting games are one of my favorite genres aside from JRPGs, and Persona 4 is one of the best. Ultimax is a little bit more than a traditional fighter. It's a sequel and a spin-off rolled into one, continuing the story right after the events of Persona 4 and adding even more characters into the Persona universe. But what makes it stand out? First off, the gameplay. Unlike typical fighters, Ultimax is deep, fast-paced, and rewarding. With its unique Persona mechanic, you get to summon your Persona to assist in battle, each with their own special moves, giving you that tactical edge that makes every fight feel different. But it's not just about combos. You can shift the tide of battle with a well-timed Persona attack, or maybe a counter that will leave your opponent stunned. Then there is the story mode. Not only do you get to see how the Persona 4 crew continues their adventures, but you also get to control fan favorites like Yu, Chie, and Yosuke, while unlocking even more characters like Shadow Kanji and Labris. The story mixes everything we love about Persona: the twists, the intrigue, and of course, those classic Persona-style social elements into an electrifying experience that you don't want to miss. Persona 4 Arena isn't just a fighting game, it's a love letter to fans of the series, offering a solid fighting game experience with that rich Persona story we all crave. Whether you're a Persona diehard or just looking for a solid fighter, Ultimax is a must-play. Now, let's talk about Tales of the Heroes Twin Brave, a Tales game that just doesn't get enough love. If you're a fan of the Tales series, then this title is a must-play, but it kind of has a unique twist. It's not your typical Tales RPG. Instead, it's a 3D action game that brings together multiple characters from across the Tales universe in an epic tag team brawler somewhat similar to the Dynasty Warriors franchise. First off, the combat. Imagine the fast-paced, combo-heavy combat you know and love from the Tales games, but now you're controlling two characters at once. Every character has their own unique abilities, and when paired together, they can unleash devastating combo attacks that make you feel like a total badass. What really makes Twin Brave stand out is the roster. You get to play as characters from the most beloved Tales titles, like Tales of Symphonia, Tales of Vesperia, Tales of Rebirth, and Tales of the Abyss, with each one bringing their own flair to the battlefield. Whether you're a fan of Lloyd, Jude, or Guy, it's a blast seeing these characters team up in ways we've never seen before. On top of that, the game has a simple but engaging story that pulls everything together. It's not as deep as mainline Tales titles, but it's a great excuse to get all of your favorite characters together for a fun, action-packed experience. However, I will mention that this game does not have a localization or translation at this time, so you might miss out on the story of the game. The gameplay, though, is still a ton of fun. Tales of the Heroes Twin Brave is an absolute hidden gem. If you're looking for a quick, action-packed Tales experience that's perfect for fans of the series, and you have an interest in the Dynasty Warriors franchise as well, you won't want to miss this one. What happens when you take the charm of Final Fantasy and mix it with a kart racer? You get Chocobo Racing, a PlayStation 1 cult classic that puts an RPG spin on high-speed competition. Unlike Mario Kart, where you rely on random item boxes, Chocobo Racing features a unique Magicite system that lets you cast spells mid-race, adding a layer of strategy to every lap. Pick up Fire to launch fireballs at opponents, Blizzard to freeze them in place, or Doom putting a ticking clock on their chances of winning. The best part, you can stack Magicite up to 3 times, kind of like Diddy Kong Racing, making those spells even more powerful, turning a simple speed boost from haste into an all-out warp across the track. The roster is packed with Final Fantasy icons, from Chocobo to Mog to Black Mage and White Mage, and even the mighty Bahamut. Each character has their own special ability, like Chocobo's dash for quick bursts of speed, or Behemoth's charge to knock other racers aside. And instead of just traditional carts, racers ride everything, from rollerblades to carts to magic carpets, giving each character a distinct feel. Tracks take you through familiar Final Fantasy locations like the Gold Saucer and Floating Gardens, with branching paths and hazards that keep every race unpredictable. With a lighthearted story mode, deep customization through ability selection, and a nostalgic soundtrack, Chocobo Racing offers a completely different flavor of kart racing, one where skill, strategy, and spellcasting make all the difference. And next, let's take a deep dive into Pokemon Puzzle League, one of the most underrated spin-off gems from the late 90s that perfectly blends Pokemon with fast-paced puzzle action. Released on the Nintendo 64, this game isn't just another puzzle game. It's an intense, strategic, and highly addictive experience that brings something truly unique to the table. I remember playing this back in the 90s, and I had such a blast with it, especially because I was a huge Pokemon fan. This game takes more from the anime as opposed to the regular games, which is why I think it's so great and unique. Anyways, let's first talk about the core mechanics. Pokemon Puzzle League is a match 3 puzzle game, similar to Tetris Attack, but it has that Pokemon twist. You match colored blocks to clear them off the screen, while trying to outmaneuver your opponent. The twist? There's an added level of strategy with cascading combos, which can quickly flood your opponent's screen with blocks, giving you a significant advantage. This simple mechanic creates endless layers of depth, and you'll find yourself obsessing over perfecting your speed and combo chains. But the game isn't just about puzzle mechanics, it's Pokemon through and through. You get to battle with iconic characters like Ash, Misty, and Brock, as well as some of your favorite Pokemon like Pikachu, Bulbasaur, and Charizard. Each character and Pokemon feels right at home, blending into the puzzle gameplay seamlessly. What really sets this apart from other puzzle games, however, is the vibrant Pokemon world that surrounds it. The music, the animations, and the sound effects all make it feel like you're playing through a Pokemon adventure while solving those puzzles. Then there's the difficulty curve. The game challenges even the most seasoned puzzle players. While the beginner levels are accessible, as you climb through the ranks, the difficulty ramps up substantially. The AI can get ruthless, making you rethink every move you make. This is a game that truly tests your reflexes and strategic thinking. It's also one of the first puzzle games that felt like a true competitive experience, offering 2-player modes that bring out the competitive spirit in players. Pokemon Puzzle League might not get the recognition it deserves, but it's one of the best puzzle games of its time, offering deep gameplay, clever strategy, and that irresistible Pokemon charm. If you haven't played it yet, now's the perfect time to experience it. Nowadays, it's more accessible than it's ever been. You can just download it on Nintendo Switch Online. And this is a puzzle masterpiece that stands the test of time. Alright, let's talk about Dragon Quest Builders. And oh boy, if you love Dragon Quest like I do, this game is a dream come true. Picture this. You get the classic Dragon Quest universe with a little twist of that Minecraft magic. You're building, crafting, and battling your way through a world that's been destroyed by the evil forces of Dragonlord. And if you're a Dragon Quest fan like me, you already know that just hearing the iconic music and seeing the slimes again fills you with nostalgia. But trust me, this game is way more than just fan service. It's an entire separate adventure. Now, I'm not the biggest Minecraft fan. In fact, I've probably only spent a single day playing it total, but somehow adding that Dragon Quest charm really makes the whole experience enjoyable. What makes Dragon Quest Builders so addictive? Well, it's the perfect blend of RPG and sandbox building. You're not just a hero swinging swords and slaying monsters. This time you're actually rebuilding the world. You start by gathering resources, crafting buildings, and restoring cities to their former glory. And of course, it wouldn't be Dragon Quest without those monsters you've grown to love. The combination of construction and combat makes every moment feel like you're shaping the world in your own image. But What truly won me over as a Dragon Quest fan is the heart and charm of the game. The quirky characters, the beautiful art style, and that legendary soundtrack all bring the Dragon Quest magic back in a way that's just so nostalgic. Whether you're gathering materials to build your town or venturing out to defeat monsters, every moment feels tied to the essence of Dragon Quest, and I just love it for that. Dragon Quest Builders is a brilliant spin-off that gives you the perfect mix of creativity, nostalgia, and RPG goodness. If you're a Dragon Quest fan like me, this game is a must-play. It's so much fun to build your own world while diving back into the rich lore of one of the greatest RPG franchises of all time. Trust me, this is a game that you don't want to put down, especially if you've played through the first Dragon Quest, because it's basically an alternate ending of it. Next, we're going to dive into Fire Emblem Warriors, and let me tell you, this game is a wild ride that's both familiar and totally different from your standard Fire Emblem experience. If you're used to the classic turn-based strategy of Fire Emblem, then Fire Emblem Warriors will feel like a total shift. Instead of meticulously moving your units across the battlefield, you're out there controlling a single hero, hacking through waves of enemies in epic action-packed combat. It's like taking the Fire Emblem universe, mixing it with Dynasty Warriors, and putting it into 100% overdrive. Now let's be clear, this isn't your typical Fire Emblem game. Instead of deep tactical planning, you're jumping straight into the action, slashing your way through armies of enemies as part of the Musou genre. The Fire Emblem elements are still very much alive here. You've got all your favorite heroes from across the series like Marth, Chrom, and Corrin, each with their own unique fighting styles and special attacks that keep things feeling like a Fire Emblem game through and through. What really makes this game stand out is how it balances the frantic hack and slash gameplay with that strategic Fire Emblem touch. Yes, you're not positioning units or planning out every move, but there's still strategy in how you take control of different territories, plan your attacks, and manage your hero's abilities. You'll need to think on your feet about when to unleash a special move, when to support your allies, and how to capture strongholds. It's fast, it's action-packed, but you still need to make smart decisions to win. The coolest part is that you get to team up with legendary heroes from the Fire Emblem universe, and there's a real sense of nostalgia for fans of the series. The epic battles feel like you're living in a Fire Emblem dream world, with just a lot more enemies to smash. My only real concern with this game is it really only takes characters from Awakening on. You do have Marth there, but for the most part, it's really only later games in the series, which is understandable because that's really when the series started to get really popular. Fire Emblem Warriors is a thrilling spin on the classic Fire Emblem formula. It might be different from what you're used to, but the action, the heroes, and the strategy still make it a must-play for any Fire Emblem fan. It's fast, it's fun, and honestly, I just can't get enough of it. If you've ever wanted a Shin Megami Tensei game with that Pokemon feel, DemiKids is exactly that, a turn-based RPG where you recruit, you fuse, and battle demons in a story-driven adventure that splits into two different versions, dark and light. Unlike mainline Shin Megami Tensei games, DemiKids leans more into the accessibility, while keeping the series' signature demon fusion system intact. Letting you combine creatures to create powerful new allies, you play as either Jin or Akira, each with a unique storyline that takes them across different dimensions, from cybernetic worlds to gothic hellscapes. Each version has exclusive demons, unique areas, and even different endings, making it worth playing both for the full experience. Combat is fast-paced, but still strategic, requiring you to build the right teams of demons, exploit enemy weaknesses, and unleash powerful skills to dominate battles. The game introduces an auto-battle system for quick grinding, a morality-based alignment mechanic that changes which demons you can recruit, and even a demon growth system which lets your monsters evolve over time. But don't let those colorful visuals fool you. DemiKids still has that classic Shin Megami Tensei edge with dark themes, high-stakes battles, and deep mechanics that make every decision feel meaningful. Whether you're fusing demons into unstoppable powerhouses, exploring new worlds filled with bizarre creatures, or uncovering the secrets behind the war between light and dark, DemiKids proves that monster catching RPGs can have a dark and thrilling twist that stands out from the rest. For the next JRPG spin-off, we have one that's technically a spin-off of two different series. Falcom's East series, which I've mentioned countless times on this channel, as well as their turn-based series Trails. Ys vs. Trails in the Sky Alternative Saga is an absolute dream crossover for Falcom fans, combining the lightning-fast combat of Ys with the deep strategic mechanics of Trails in the Sky. The gameplay feels very similar to Ys 7, complete with super moves, dodges, blocking, and all different kinds of skills. Every character brings their signature playstyle from their respective series. This means you get Tita's massive orbital cannon blasting enemies across the screen, Olivier's spell-based range attacks providing flashy crowd control, and even Dogi using raw brute force to send opponents flying. And let's be honest, any game where Dogi is playable is an absolute win. The gameplay is fluid and responsive, rewarding skillful dodging and precision strikes while letting players unleash cinematic super moves straight from the main games. Special attacks explode with vibrant animations showcasing everything from Kevin Graham's divine arts to Geiss's ruthless close quarters assaults. The arenas are packed with dynamic elements, forcing players to adapt to shifting terrain while maintaining relentless offense. Whether you're dodging incoming magic barrages or parrying rapid sword slashes, every match feels fast, fluid, and thrilling. And with a diverse roster packed with fan-favorite heroes, every fight is a love letter to both Ys and Trails fans, blending two iconic JRPG styles into one exhilarating package. However, one thing I will mention is this game is incredibly difficult. And while the original on PSP was a Japan exclusive, we are getting a remaster later on in 2025, which I'll be honest, was definitely not on my Falcom bucket list. If you enjoy top-down arena fighters, you definitely should check out Ys vs. Trails in the Sky Alternative Saga when it comes out later on in the West. Next, we have a gacha title. Now, normally, I really don't like gacha. In fact, I kind of hate it. But Star Ocean is a weakness of mine, and Anamnesis actually felt pretty great. If you love real-time combat and deep sci-fi storytelling, Star Ocean Anamnesis is an insane ride that throws you straight into an intergalactic war with some of the most iconic characters in the franchise. You take on the role of a Federation captain stranded in an unknown galaxy, and you're forced to summon legendary heroes from across the Star Ocean universe to survive. The result? A dream team of warriors spanning multiple timelines, each bringing their signature abilities into some of the fastest, most action-packed battles in the series. The real-time combat is pure adrenaline. You control your squad directly, dodging attacks, chaining special moves, and unleashing cinematic limit bursts that explode across the screen. Whether it's Fate's ethereal blast, Edge's shockwave-infused swordplay, or Miuria's devastating magic, every single attack feels fluid and impactful. The multiplayer co-op actually takes it even further, letting players team up for massive boss battles that demand perfect timing, strategy, and non-stop action. And it's not just about the fights, the story is packed with unexpected alliances, emotional character moments, and a race against time to escape deep space. Every cutscene, every battle, and every over-the-top move is a love letter to Star Ocean fans, blending nostalgia with fast modern gameplay that makes Anamnesis one of the most thrilling JRPG spin-offs ever made. However, a little bit of bad news. Unfortunately, this spin-off ended service in 2021, but it's still worth mentioning. That's one of the things I hate about gacha games. Some of them look amazing, but they always end service before anyone really gets to get into them. Feels kind of like a waste. And for the final entry on today's list, we have Nelke and the Legendary Alchemists. If you think you know Atelier games, Nelke and the Legendary Alchemists will completely change your expectations. Instead of gathering ingredients and crafting potions as a lone alchemist, you step into the shoes of Nelke, a noble woman tasked with building and managing an entire town. While working alongside legendary alchemists from across the Atelier series, this means fan-favorite characters like Rorona, Totori, and Meruru, they all return. Not just as party members, but as essential contributors to your growing city. The gameplay mixes town-building simulation with classic Atelier-style alchemy and exploration, where you assign alchemists to gather materials, craft high-quality items, and expand your town's economy. The deeper you get into the game, the more intricate the management becomes, balancing resources, funding research, and keeping up with the ever-growing demands of your citizens. But honestly, don't think it's all spreadsheets and strategy. There's still plenty of adventure. with turn-based combat that lets you take your legendary alchemists into battle, using their signature skills and powerful synthesis-based attacks. The story is lighthearted, yet engaging, packed with nostalgic interactions between characters from the different Atelier generations, making it a celebration of the entire franchise. Nelke and the Legendary Alchemist reinvents the Atelier formula by blending RPG mechanics with deep town management, offering a refreshing spin that makes it one of the most unique JRPG spin-offs out there. Now, I say that it's unique, that doesn't mean it's great. It's not the best game I've ever played, but it's still worth playing. It's probably a 6 or 7 out of 10. If you really love Atelier, it's worth a shot. So there you have it, my list of the top 10 JRPG spin-offs. But now, it's your turn. Did I nail it, or did I miss a hidden gem of a spin-off? Drop a comment with your favorite JRPG spin-off and let's get the discussion going. And if you're hungry for more JRPG, check out this video right here, where we dive into even more JRPG goodness. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss out on any of the best RPG content. This has been Shinky, thanks so much for spending your valuable time with me, and until next week, have a wonderful day.